There was a classic opening for you from 19 years ago this month. Hello again, everybody. Beau James here with another exciting edition of Southern States Wrestling Classics, and what a program we have for you this week as we're going to take a look at a historic event not only for Southern States Wrestling but for wrestling history in this part of the country and also the city of Kingsport. We're going to tell you more about that here just in a moment. Before we kick off the program and get deep into what our subject matter is this week, I want to tell you real fast that we started putting these programs back together at the end of last year, and we hope to have them out there for everybody on Sunday evening or Sunday night. And with our schedules and travel and everything that's going on, that's just not working out. So from this day forward, SSW Classics will be debuting a new program each and every Wednesday. So check us out on social media, YouTube, kingofkingsport.com, or wherever you like to watch this program. Now let's go back to January of 1999. The whole world was freaking out about Y2K coming in a few months, and what was the new millennium going to bring, and what was the world going to change, and how was things going to change. And they've changed a lot in the last 19 years. But one thing that was a cornerstone of wrestling history in the city of Kingsport, Tennessee, was wrestling events at the Kingsport Civic Auditorium. The auditorium ran weekly for 23 years, ending its run in October of 1967. The city had banned wrestling inside the city auditorium there in Kingsport due to riots and other problems that they'd had with wrestling. So for 32 years, the building held everything, it seemed, from concerts to home shows to Christmas pageants, but did not hold professional wrestling. And at the end of 1998, myself, Ken Bowles, and my father Roy went to the city, and we started making our case of why wrestling needed to come back to the Civic Auditorium. And here we're going to take a look at an event today that was called the Homecoming. Wrestling returned to the Kingsport Civic Auditorium in January of 1999, promoted by Southern States Wrestling, and it also was my return to the city of Kingsport into the Tri-Cities, as I had lost a loser leave town match in early 1998 and had went away to wrestle in Memphis, Tennessee. So let's get right into one of the big title matches that night at the Kingsport Civic Auditorium as the Christian brothers defend the Southern States tag titles that they had just won a few weeks earlier against Roger Anderson and Frank Parker, the team known as Death and Destruction.
All right, fans, what a great match we have here for you in this edition of Southern States Wrestling. It's for the Tag Team Championship, the former champs Death and Destruction. And you just saw how the Christian brothers won those coveted belts, and they're here defending. It's Ruthless Roger Anderson starting it off against Danny Christian in this one-fall battle here with a 30-minute time limit. And again, up for grabs, the Southern States Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Already Anderson complaining about some hair pulling, which quite frankly I didn't see. They'll lock up again. Knee there by Anderson. As you could tell, you heard those comments from Death and Destruction. They are not happy campers, and they have come here today with one thing and one thing only on their minds, and that's to regain the Southern States Wrestling Tag Team Championship belts. At the moment, though, Roger Anderson, as he goes to the corner and consults with his tag team partner, they call him Frank the Tank Parker. One fall, 30-minute time limit. Fans, a reminder that great card coming up in Newport, Tennessee on Saturday, February 13th. As down goes Anderson, step over by Christian. Anderson was there to meet him, but Christian on the reversal. Here comes Parker, and he's set for the ride as well. All four men now inside the ring. A double clothesline, and out of the ring goes Death and Destruction. Well, the Christian brothers showing us every indication that they plan to hold on to those tag team titles for quite a long time to come. But for now, this tag team match as Parker goes up and into the turnbuckles the hard way, sent there by Danny Christian. He'll tag his brother Bam Bam. Wide open there is Parker. Here's tag team wrestling at best as far as teamwork, as the official, the referee, is going to fight off Roger Anderson and send him back to the corner. Well, Parker, you can hear that from our broadcast location, screaming out to the ref about Christian cheating. Nothing, though, cheating there. Legal hold with that armbar by Bam Bam Christian. Happy you're with us, fans, for this edition of Southern States Wrestling. The famed auditorium, the Civic Auditorium in Kingsport, Tennessee. A scene of many, many great matches over the years. Some of the superstars of the sport have been in this very building. And now we're happy to bring you the superstars from Southern States Wrestling. The tag was made. Roger Anderson came in, but unfortunately for death and destruction, Anderson meets the very same fate as his partner, Frank Parker. As so far in the opening moments of this bout, it's mainly been the reigning tag team champs, the Christian brothers. Tag made. Danny Christian is back in the ring as he works that left arm and shoulder area of ruthless Roger Anderson. Fans will see in Flag Pond, Tennessee, a couple of times coming up in February. Saturday nights, February 6th and the 20th at the Rurtan Building in Flag Pond, Tennessee. Here we go with death and destruction back in the offensive end of things. Double teaming, the referee's back is turned as Danny Christian is getting worked over and then some. This is what death and destruction love to do, get that ref out of position and go to work. About nobody does a better 2-on-1 than death and destruction. Well, I don't know about that. What that kind of gyrating has to do with winning a match. Cover, hook of the leg by Parker, but Danny Christian was able to power out. Things quite intense inside the squared circle for this one, as you would expect, as death and destruction laying notice to the Christian brothers before this match that they were going to do anything it took to win back the Southern States Wrestling Tag Team title belts. Parker, you got to give him credit. That was a super standing drop kick. He might be known as the Tank, but the Tank in that regard was quick on his feet. Of course, Parker there has to get the accolades from the fans who tell him exactly what they think about him. Off the ropes goes Danny Christian. Ducks under, goes for the sunset flip, but the tag was made there. Legal maneuver, Anderson off the ropes and drives that big right boot into the small of the back. Well, unfortunately, Danny Christian did not see the tag was made, but it was indeed made, a legal tag. Anderson came in and planted down Danny Christian. Anderson scoops him up and right off that neck, flesh right in, the flesh right into that top rope. Cover by Anderson, does not hook the leg, and Bam Bam is there for the save. So referee chases Bam Bam Christian back to his particular corner. Snapmare, down is Danny Christian. Chin lock, let's see if that's legal. Apparently it does appear to be at this moment as our camera zooms right in and takes you up close and personal into the action. Fans, a reminder that we're coming to North Carolina at the Cove Creek School on Friday night, February 12th. You fans watching us in Carter and Johnson counties, join us for Southern States Wrestling on Friday night, February 12th at the Cove Creek, North Carolina School. Christian breaking the hold, line cross body block, cover, and fortunately for death and destruction, it's Parker who comes in and makes the save, or it looked like right there the Christian brothers were going to get the 3 count. Parker and Anderson both inside the ring. The referee having to chase out Anderson as he tagged in Parker. By the way, at Cove Creek, North Carolina, the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, will be there battling handsome Beau James in that main event. That's on Friday night, February 12th in Cove Creek, North Carolina at the Cove Creek School. Roger Anderson is back in. No, Parker says it's time to end it. Now, Ruthless Roger, he's taking his sweet time about whatever he's about to do here. So he softens up Danny Christian, Christian is prone on his back. Here comes Anderson, but Christian is able to get out of the way. Oh my, if Anderson would have been able to connect with that high-flying maneuver, he probably would have been able to drive Danny Christian right through the mat. But Christian was just barely able to get out of harm's way. Now Roger Anderson makes the tag. Likewise, Danny tagging in Bam Bam. Down goes Parker. Down goes Anderson. Clothesline to Parker. Clothesline to Anderson. Scoop slam by Bam Bam Christian. He'll do the same with Anderson. All four men now inside the ring. All four men as chaos is broken out inside the squared circle. The referee is going to have a hard time trying to restore order here. Death and reversal. The Christian brothers are smacked into each other. Danny Christian is outside the ring. Roger Anderson setting up Bam Bam. And out from the top rope comes Parker, dropping him down. Now Death and Destruction right here needs to be going for a cover instead of playing to the fans at ringside. Does Death and Destruction think they've already won this match or something? I don't think so. For whatever reason, Death and Destruction, there's a roll-up by Bam Bam Christian, and he gets the 3 count. Let me check that. That was Danny Christian. Danny Christian got the roll-up. So the Christian brothers have retained the Southern States Wrestling Tag Team Championship belts. Too much showboating by Death and Destruction, and Danny Christian was able to roll up Roger Anderson and get the count of 3.
There you saw a big win from Danny and Bam Bam Christian over Death and Destruction, and that did not settle anything by any means, because they would meet just a couple of weeks later at the Little K-Town Showdown. Along with the homecoming, the Little K-Town Showdown is coming to Powerbomb.tv, along with a lot of events from the 1990s that you can see for the first time unless you were there live to witness it. More about that coming up in the program. Now let's go back to the ring. Let's go back to the homecoming. Let's take a look at a man that was making big waves here in Southern States Wrestling in the late 90s. He had an international name. He had wrestled all across the world. He had wrestled for the WWE. He had wrestled on ESPN for the GWF. I'm talking about the man named as Conan, Chris Walker. Let's go take a look at him as he battles tough Southern States veteran Scotty McKeever.
Southern States Wrestling, this next contest will be one fall or 30 minutes in time. Introducing first, 230 pounds from West Virginia, Scotty McKeever. And his opponent, 250 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, Conan, Chris Walker.
All right, fans, here we go. Scotty McKeever, Conan, Chris Walker. And McKeever gets the jump on Conan, sending him into the corner. Follows that up with a couple of hard right boots and the right fist. Conan, Chris Walker, certainly about as well put together as any human being, let alone professional wrestler, walking the face of the earth. But right now, Scotty McKeever, and you got to figure, if you're McKeever going into this thing and you're looking at the likes of facing Conan, Chris Walker, you better do something for yourself rather early, and McKeever's been able to do just that. Walker, though, a wily veteran, suplex by McKeever, though. He'll go for the early cover. Rob Knight with a count of 2, and there's Conan tossing him off like a wet noodle. But Walker is slow to recover from the offense early on tonight, shown by McKeever. McKeever, 230-pounder out of West Virginia. Great flip over by Conan. Chris Walker follows that up with a perfect drop kick. And now it's Conan, Chris Walker. You don't want to give Conan a couple of moments to catch his breath. We mentioned before about superstars here in Southern States Wrestling, and here is one of the bigger ones in Conan, Chris Walker. Scotty McKeever knows if he can get a victory against Conan, Chris Walker in Southern States Wrestling, he is automatically catapulted up the top of contenders for gold. Walker, though, off the middle rope. with a double axe handle. Follows it up again. Down McKeever. McKeever for the ride. Walker waiting for him with a big arm bar. Conan Chris Walker. 250 pounds, and every inch of that solid muscle. High flying maneuver by Conan, and gets the Duke. Wait, here's Stan Lee. Pretty boy Stan Lee. He just clipped the knee there of Walker. Pretty boy Stan Lee. Lee charging the ring. Lee hits the squared circle, working over Walker. And here comes Skyfire. Skyfire in the ring. And now Skyfire chasing out Pretty Boy. Fortunately for Conan Chris Walker, Skyfire able to rid the ring of Pretty Boy Stan Lee. Well, fans, we'll be back with more of Southern States Wrestling right after this.
The match, Conan Chris Walker.
There you saw an impressive win from Conan Chris Walker at the homecoming in Kingsport, January 1999. Let's go now and take a break where you can hear a word from Powerbomb.tv and find out about upcoming events around the Appalachians.
Since 1997, Smart Mark Video has been the source to see your favorite wrestlers on your screen for the first time. Now, Smart Mark Video will bring its library to a new platform as Smart Mark Video partners with Powerbomb TV.
Welcome back to the Classics here. Beau James with you, and thank you once again for joining us. Love hearing the comments and the Facebook messages and emails we get about our classics and the programs we're putting up, and several people's already trying to pry it out of us. When is Southern States Wrestling going to debut on Powerbomb.tv? And I will tell you this, soon, very soon. Still hand-picking events, still getting everything ready, but as I tape this on Wednesday, the plan is for everything that we have already got ready to go to Powerbomb TV early next week. So it's getting very close to the big debut there. Adam Lash is excited. I'm excited. I'm excited to share these events from the 90s that nobody's seen unless they were there live to witness them. I'm happy to show these from the late 90s into the 2000s for unless you were there or bought the DVD or watched it locally on television here in the Mountain Empire. So there's going to be a lot of classic wrestling with a lot of big name superstars that you can check out, plus our own homegrown talent here from Southern States Wrestling. And talking about some homegrown talent here and some guys that made some names for themselves in Southern States Wrestling, we're going to take a look at the feud that was going on right now for the Appalachian title at the end of 98 into early 99 as champion Steve Flynn was fighting off the challenge of the Iron Cross. We're going to hear some words from the Iron Cross and take a look at a match that took place at the end of 1998 at Rumble on the Mountains in Mountain City, Tennessee. And then you're going to see the match. Steve Flynn defending the Appalachian title against the Iron Cross at the homecoming in Kingsport, January 1999.
Fans, one of the real hot feuds here in Southern States Wrestling is Steve Flynn and this man, the Iron Cross.
Well, Chip, let me tell you something. Instead of just standing here talking today, I brought a piece of tape with me. I want the people to see what happened last week. So if we could, in the truck, let's roll that tape right now. Okay, Chip, you see right here? This is near the end of the match. We're going about 5 or 10 minutes. He deliberately hits the referee right here with the clothesline. I hit him with my Theus press. Where's the referee? He's laying flat on his face. There's 1, 2, 3. I go to check on the ref. Look right here. Here it is so people can see it. He's pulling out knucks. Bam, hits me right in the head. I'll tell you what, he knocked my lights out for good right there. Here it is, same thing every time. 1, 2, 3. He ends up on top. Steve Flynn, you may be the Appalachian champion right now, boy. I hope you enjoyed being the champion this week, because right here on TV today, just a few short minutes, it's going to be me and you. When I hit you with my Theus press, boy, it's going to be all over. Chip, thank you very much.
All right, Iron Cross, Steve Flynn. We certainly, fans, have not seen the end of this feud.
Introducing first the challenger, 230 pounds from the Kingdom of Heaven, Iron Cross. His opponent, the Appalachian title holder, 235 pounds from Sevierville, Tennessee, Steve Flynn. One ball, 30 minutes in time.
This match, fans, for the Appalachian title, champion Steve Flynn, one of the members of the First Family, and thus when you talk about the First Family, P.J. Sharp is never that far away, as he's in the corner managing Mr. Flynn. The Iron Cross, and we talked before about guys put together here in Southern States Wrestling. You look at the physique of the Iron Cross as Steve Flynn charges in, showing the usual aggressiveness from members of the First Family. The Cross out of the way, backdrop, and Flynn is down. Fist to the head. There's another. Iron Cross serving notice that he's come here today to win the Appalachian Championship in Southern States Wrestling. In fact, Cross now will follow Flynn outside, and there goes P.J. Sharp as well. As you know, Sharp is going to get out of any bodily contact unless he's able to deliver it. The Iron Cross, 230 pounds out of the City of Angels, going for the Appalachian Championship here in this edition of Southern States Wrestling. Chip Kessler, happy to bring you the action. Pleased you're with us. And don't forget, fans, to join us once again. UPN, Channel 30 here in Kingsport, another edition of Southern States Wrestling on Sunday afternoon, February 21st. The Iron Cross taking it to Steve Flynn. Fans, a reminder, we're going to be seeing you in Big Stone Gap, Virginia on Saturday night, March the 6th at Carnes Gymnasium, a great card featuring many of your favorite Southern States Wrestling superstars in Big Stone Gap, Virginia on Saturday night, March the 6th. That big showdown in Newport on Saturday, February 13th at the National Guard Armory. We'll keep you posted about that one. Some elbow action by the Iron Cross. So Steve Flynn got the better of things from the get-go, but since those opening moments, it's been all Iron Cross. P.J. Sharp, the ever-presence at ringside, no doubt thinking about some way he can get his man back on top and retaining that Appalachian title. Well, you think about the First Family, they certainly have some of the superstars here in Southern States Wrestling. Handsome Beau James. He'll be in action here a little bit later today. Flynn with the takedown, sending Cross down. Cross off the rope, elbow by the current champion, Steve Flynn. The Iron Cross on the receiving end of a snapmare. Cover by Steve Flynn, got a 2 count. P.J. Sharp there, as you could see, and no doubt here, complaining it was a slow count. I didn't see it or hear it that way. Rake of the eyes by Flynn, sending the Iron Cross to the corner. KC Thunder, he's of course in the First Family. And who else might be negotiating to come into one of the most coveted organizations in all of professional wrestling, known as the First Family? There you saw P.J. Sharp, as you would expect, with the referee's back turned, getting in a few cheap shots. That's his style. Off the ropes, the Iron Cross goes for the takedown, sunset flip, cover, and a count of 2. We almost had a new Appalachian champion right then and there. Now a little high-five action. I wonder if they're going to hug and kiss each other next between Steve Flynn and P.J. Sharp. I still do not know, by the way, fans, why P.J. Sharp comes to the ring wearing that nautical sailor's cap. I don't know if he again owns a yacht, or maybe just might be captain of the local bathtub navy or something. Steve Flynn working over, though, the Iron Cross. Hard chop. Oh, my. Could hear that out to Center Street here in Kingsport. They tie up. Bear hug by Steve Flynn. Well, the Iron Cross, as well put together as he is, I got to think he could withstand some punishment in the form of a bear hug. Oh, my. Oh, my. The referee, I don't know, saw that blow. Down goes Flynn. Count of two. Steve Flynn, he's into the right corner with P.J. Sharp there, and alertly the Iron Cross rolls him up and delivers the suplex as he took him out of the corner. Let's see if the Iron Cross here goes for the cover. Tried to deliver that fist, but Flynn was able to duck out of the way. There's just an old-fashioned poke of the eyes by Steve Flynn. Again, the first family, whether it be Flynn, Thunder, handsome Beau James, they'll do anything and everything to get things going back in their direction. Iron Cross, elbow by Flynn. Good match here. This is a one-fall, 45-minute time limit. And there Flynn telegraphed that move, and the Iron Cross was able to drop him down. Flynn in moving too much here. Let's see if the Iron Cross can take advantage. Well, Flynn now back on his feet. Likewise, the Iron Cross. Duck under by the Iron Cross. Boot to the midsection. Follows that up with a right fist. Sends him for the ride into the corner turnbuckle. And down to Steve Flynn. The Iron Cross now with momentum. Again, Flynn meets the turnbuckle. The Iron Cross delivering the boot to the midsection, softening up Steve Flynn, maybe for the kill here. Reversal, though, by Flynn, but the Iron Cross with a boot right to the chin. Neck breaker. Down is Steve Flynn. Here's P.J. Sharp up ringside. Oh, my! Oh, do I love to see that, as P.J. Sharp sticking his big nose where it didn't belong, and the Iron Cross met him. Drop down. Cover by the Iron Cross. But what is Sharp doing? Dragging the referee out. And what is this? Here comes KC Thunder to ringside. What is this guy doing here? What is KC Thunder doing at ringside? He's got no business being there. Steve Flynn, right fist. The referee's back is turned. Did he pull something out of his trunk? Think he did. I think he did. The referee didn't see it. Oh, my. I'm positive that Steve Flynn pulled something out.
Your winner and the Appalachian title holder, Steve Flynn.
Well, Steve Flynn is going to retain the Appalachian Championship. But I am positive, fans, so when the referee's back was turned, he pulled something out of his tights.
There you saw how heated things were between the Iron Cross and Steve Flynn, and a few weeks later, those two men would meet with the stipulation that Ken Bowles put on the line that 3 fans from the crowd would get to search Steve Flynn for foreign objects before he entered the ring, and that event itself will also be on Powerbomb.tv very soon, so you can see what happened when that came about in the little K-Town showdown of '99 there in Kingsport, Tennessee. Now we're going to take our last break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the feud of the first part of Southern States Wrestling TV and what was real hot and heavy in the late 90s and early 2000s. Who was that? Be right back in about a minute and a half to tell you. Calvary Baptist Church, 1238 Pine Street, Kingsport, Tennessee. Regular schedule of services: Sunday, 9:15 a.m. for Bible study fellowship class for all ages. 10:30 a.m. worship. 6 p.m. blast for children, wake for youth. Sunday night life for adults. Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. children and youth activities. 3D Bible study for adults. Welcome back to the Classics. As I told you earlier, this was the first event held at the Kingsport Civic Auditorium in 32 years. It was also my homecoming back to Southern States Wrestling, as I had lost the Southern States title and a loser leave town match in early 1998 and had to leave town. And I made my return to Southern States Wrestling at the beginning of 1999, and I told matchmaker Ken Bowles there's only one person that I want to face, and that's the man that took the title from me and ran me out of town, because I had intentions of hurting him. I had plans of running him out of town, and I could do a whole series of these classics just on the feud between myself and Ricky Harrison, but this is what was going on 19 years ago this month. Let's take a look at it. The homecoming. Beau James takes on Ricky Harrison for the Southern States title.
James, before the match got underway, went on a long tirade that did nothing but kind of boil the blood of many here at ringside at the Civic Auditorium in Kingsport. And reminder, fans, we'll be back here on January 30th with another great edition of Southern States Wrestling. There's nothing like seeing Southern States Wrestling live and in person, and you'll have that opportunity on Saturday night, January 30th, here in Kingsport at the Civic Auditorium. Don't forget as well, fans, Saturday night, February 13th, that great card in Newport at the National Guard Armory. You'll see handsome Beau James in action. Ricky Harrison also will be on that great card. Death and Destruction. They fell short tonight in regaining the Southern States Wrestling Tag Team Championship. They'll get another opportunity next month in Newport, taking on the Christian Brothers. There's nothing but a low blow by Beau James. James saying he just delivered that to the midsection. That'll put you in traction. Referee James McCone asking if Ricky Harrison wants to give it up, and it's going to take a lot more than that, as painful as it might be, to cause Ricky Harrison to say, "I quit." Harrison, elbow to the ample midsection, but there's James, and that looks like nothing but a blatant chokehold, and the referee spots it, forcing James to break the hold. Well, Ricky Harrison's going to have to amount to a lot more than what we've seen in the latter stages here if he's going to retain the Southern States Wrestling Championship belt. Beau James just systematically wearing down Ricky Harrison. Snapmare. Let's see if that's legal. Referee right on top of things as James tries to work it away from the ref's angle. Harrison is shaking. You got to think right here, well, the way the arm is at the moment, that does seem to be a legal maneuver. Again, fans, National Guard Armory in Newport, Saturday night, February 13th. Match time is 8 o'clock. The box office will open in Newport that day at 2 o'clock. Conan Chris Walker is going to be there. Pretty Boy Stan Lee will be on hand. Referee checking to see if Harrison is about to give it up, but Harrison still with some strength. The fans certainly behind the champion as Ricky Harrison works his way back to his feet. Trying and does, powers out. Duck under by Harrison, another by Harrison. Flying cross body by Harrison. Got the count of 2. Drop kick by Harrison. And another by the Southern States Wrestling Champion, Ricky Harrison. One more, the referee, though, catches that one as Beau James is able to duck out of the way, and the ref is sent flying out of the ring. Well, here comes KC Thunder inside the squared circle. Harrison meets him with a drop kick, and out goes Thunder. But the referee is nowhere to be seen. Here's a backup referee coming in. James with a couple of 3-4 rights, and now James is shoved into that referee. One man was down. Our second referee also down. Here comes Steve Flynn. The entire first family now has made its way inside the squared circle. Harrison have to battle in them all. Works Flynn into the corner. Here comes PJ Sharp. Tried to use that briefcase, but Harrison kicked it out. There's Beau James. Oh, my. James, I said before, fans, about that briefcase. You gotta wonder what's inside that thing, a lead pipe or maybe a brick. But James creaming Ricky Harrison. Here's Rob Knight in, and he'll count out in a count of 3.
And ladies and
I don't
gentlemen,
believe it.
your winner and new Southern States Wrestling Champion, Beau James.
What a travesty here, as 2 referees were kicked out of the ring, and the third, Rob Knight, made his way to ringside just in time to see Beau James covering Ricky Harrison after James is able to use that loaded briefcase, and Ricky Harrison is out cold, it looks like.
There you saw it, a historic night. That's only a few of the matches that happened that night. The entire card will be on powerbomb.tv in the very near future, where you can watch each and every bit of it. Make sure you go over there and check out powerbomb.tv if you have not already. What a great price they have on subscriptions of that. What all the footage and all the events that they have on that program that you can look at anytime that you want to. And they're adding new stuff each and every month, it seems like. Seems like each and every day, every time I check them out on Twitter or Facebook, they got something new going up there. Speaking of Twitter and Facebook, make sure you follow Southern States Wrestling at Facebook.com/Southern States Wrestling, Twitter at SSW Wrestling 1. You also can follow me on Twitter at King of Kingsport, Facebook.com/Pro Wrestler Beau James. Also, KingofKingsport.com. Go over there and check out my book from the 1960s that covers many of the historic matches from the Kingsport Civic Auditorium with Ron Wright and Lou Thez and Don Wright and Whitey Caldwell and the endless name. Even Antonio Inoki was here in the 1960s. So a lot of reading, a lot of history that you can learn out of that book. It's called Don't Miss This, The History of Pro Wrestling in the City of Kingsport, 1960 through 69. I also want to tell you, see this 1950s history book coming very soon from me. So keep checking back KingofKingsport.com, and I'll tell you all about it right here on the Classics. Next week, going to be right back here next Wednesday with an all-new edition of SSW Classics. So make your plans to check us out sometime throughout your week. And wherever you're watching us around the world, thank you very much. Thank you for all the nice comments. Thank you for all the nice messages that you've sent telling us how much you enjoy these classics and going back and looking at Southern States Wrestling. We enjoy putting it together just as much as you enjoy watching it. And I had a question this week: is Southern States Wrestling done? No. This is our 27th year of operation. We ran events last year in West Virginia and Kentucky. Got many events coming up this summer at fairs and festivals around the region, around the Appalachians. We'll be telling you about them here on this program. And here, very soon, we're going to make a very special announcement about an event that you're going to love. So until next week, Beau James, thank you for watching. God bless each and every one of you.